The sandbox is a trap. You build the world, you step back, you let them play, then nothing happens. And your players, they loot, they level up, they leave. There's no drama, no red wedding moment. Stop running a simulation and start running a story. Here are 3 ways to inject high-stakes drama into a completely open map. Here is technique number 1. I call it competing player factions, or PvP. You can set up your players in 2 groups. You have them come in on 2 different nights. Party A will do their thing, go through a dungeon, clear half of it, and then they retreat. Party B hears rumors of Party A. Party B finds the dungeon and they see the damage. They see the ransacked dungeon. Maybe the monsters are expecting attacks, so they reinforced some areas. Maybe they see all the traps already sprung. Maybe new traps are put in new locations. They have to deal with the consequences that the previous party created. This creates natural competition. Each party has become 2 different factions. They may not be enemies, but they are competitors. How do you up the ante? During session 0, figure out which characters have similar alignments and ideologies, and staff the groups based on alignments and goals. You could even encourage them to have conflicting goals. It's even better if they have competing ideologies. Maybe one group is into destroying the undead. The other group is filled with necromancers. Within the game world, each group's reputation spreads. You have NPCs talking about that other group of adventurers out there. They're wronging the rights and capturing the princesses. In this method, you don't need a villain. The tension will develop naturally between each player. For your climax game, you have both groups show up at your house and to just see what's going to happen in the game. What if you don't have enough players to split on 2 nights? Well, you can create an NPC party of adventurers, or you can move to technique number 2. Here in technique number 2, I call it the background arch-villain. The core idea is to create an arch-villain, your Vecna, if you will. That villain has a goal that it is broken down into little steps. It could be something innocuous at first. Maybe, I don't know, harvest hair. Each step happens whether or not players react to it. Here's an example. For instance, the players keep seeing disturbed cemeteries throughout the countryside. They could investigate or keep going along. If they investigate, they will eventually confront an underling of the big bad villain. If they ignore it, just go to step 2. If they beat the underling, the big bad will find a new way to get what he's looking for, adjust, and move on. Invent a new scheme and just go ahead to step 2. Step 2. There is a bizarre high demand for exotic materials with rewards posted everywhere. Things like dragon tongue or beholder eyelashes. The players could choose to get those items and pocket the reward. If they hunt for the items, make sure to take them to special haunted sites, battlefields, places of death. The players could be offered an opportunity to join the big bad if they're particularly good, or they could be manipulated by the big bad until the end of the campaign. They could investigate who is buying this and get greeted by one of the subordinates or the big bad villain herself. In fights, the big bad will always try to escape. If the big bad is defeated, come up with either a bigger bad or just mysteriously resurrect her. Step 3. As the players advance, they start seeing new and different types of undead in the dungeons. Those new undead are prototypes. They behave very differently than regular undead. The PCs might notice it, or if they're murder hobos, they'll just kill them, get the XPs, and go on. Then you can go to step 4. Step 4. Mercenary undead and undead service start showing up on markets for sale. Now, you could have those undeads show up as straight up undead if your campaign allows, or they could be disguised so that the civilians don't freak out. Either way, there's something that's going to be odd about them, especially if you disguise them. Maybe there's going to be a bizarre smell that's particularly disgusting, or just a negative vibe that they put off. A clue that's they're not all right. The mercenaries and servants require no food, and you just buy them in a market, but they're not slaves. Kind of like, I don't know, the Optimus robot Elon Musk is working on. All right. And once those mercenaries and servants have infiltrated everywhere, when there is a full market penetration, the servants will rise up. They start forming their own bands, and the bands become an army, and the players have to deal with it. The key trick is that players have always 3 options to react to any step. They can either interfere, they can ignore, or they can even participate and join in. If they interfere, they'll eventually collide with the main villain. If they interfere early, the main villain will just send them a gopher or somebody else, and he will adjust his plan. The closer they are towards the final steps, the more the villain will start taking care of the players personally. And the third option, they might join the villain. If you're running an evil or chaotic style campaign, they might just say, hey, let the undead do those jobs. Let's take over the world. A variation of the ignoring plan. They could also run away. If the players do that, they will be chased by rumors of an evil army of undead from the land they just came from. And NPCs will start being more and more suspicious of them. That's brilliant, right? The key is that the arch plot will always advance. Whatever the players do or do not, this is happening in the background. They could be interested in exploring, go far from the region, where it's happening, but they're always gonna hear about it. It's always gonna be there. React to it or not, it will culminate into a mega event where players must deal with it. You know, like those movies where a giant asteroid hurtles towards good old terra firma. In time, someone has to go up there. But at first, everybody's saying, oh, this is crazy. This is not happening. Yet they keep hearing and seeing evidence about it. It's the rumor that just doesn't want to go away. Eventually, they have to deal with it. Now, the third option to integrate arch plot is what I call prophecies and omens. It's similar to technique number 2, but it's more global and world ending. And it's inspired by Morkborg. So Morkborg absolutely nails this. They have a series of prophecies in the book, and every game you roll, whether or not a prophecy is going to happen. When enough of them happen, the end of the world is here. Now, for us, we're going to create a list of known prophecies. The players will know about it because it's common knowledge. It's part of the setting. Everybody learned that in their Sunday school, whatever, as a kid. Each game session, you have something weird happen in the background. Rivers turn to blood, birds fly backwards, the dead return and go back to their mundane daily activities without realizing they're dead. Crops fail, old kings have exotic dreams that nobody can interpret. Why this works? The players can't be everywhere or stop everything. This creates a sense of doom around them. They may want to venture and do everything, but something's coming. They don't know what. It builds tension. You don't know if everything is worthwhile or you're just wasting it on a side quest. The arch plot becomes something inevitable. It's not necessarily forced, it's just part of the background, slowly closing in on the players. They will have all the agency they want, but they know it's gonna happen. Again, like a giant meteor, this time it's not a man-made arch-villain. It's time. It's inevitable, like the will of God. There's a cosmic things happening, and there are entities and organizations doing things that cannot be explained. Now you can bring all this together. You can use one of these methods or combine them, and if you do, you can unleash them all three at once or in a sequence. The goal isn't to control the players. The goal is to create a living world where things happen, just like in the real world. If you decide to do nothing and stay out of bed, things are going to still happen outside. The world does not stop and wait for anyone to take their turn. That's the secret sauce of a great sandbox game. It feels alive. And like real life, all three methods make things happen, even if players do nothing. In the first option, another group might come and eat their lunch. In the second, someone is crafting and following a plan for world domination. And the final method, the world itself, is showing signs it's dying or being reborn. The goal of D&D, especially in later editions, is to be the hero. It has to feel that way. If they don't want to engage in a sandbox game and just be, I just want to go into dungeon, I'm going to level up and move on, No, they have to react to the story now, or it will happen and they'll be forced to witness it, and it won't be pretty. Again, if you're running a sandbox game and you are thinking about starting one, tell me in the comments how you're going to handle long-term story. If you want more sandbox advice, dungeons and vibes, or just regular TTRPG chaos, you're already in the right place.